Greetings, everyone. Today was the feedback session for talking about the information literacy skills in general and the EN 101 toolkit based on the report that Nora and I shared with you and the request to give some feedback. So I'm going to just go over what I would have if people were able to attend this meeting. So on the screen right now, I have collected the feedback that I received. Now, to my email address, I think, get 4 people to respond. So I'm just gonna go over what I collected and pretend this is, there are people on the other end who want to know what we're doing. All right, so the first section, I got a couple of emails from faculty saying that they needed some clarity on what we were asking. So the ACRL framework, that is research that's done by people who know more about this than I do. And so the ACRL higher education guide to information literacy, these are not concepts that we would give immediately to our students. So it's a framework. So as such, we have to, the educators in partnership with the librarians, we have to translate those concepts that this organization, reputable organization, has done research to say, in a higher learning situation, these are the information literacy concepts and tools that people should be learning. And so that includes us. So that means at a 100 level and above, how do we interpret this framework? So the first question was, should we use this framework to help us as we look at information skills across EN 101 and EN 102, and perhaps across everything that we teach, because they are for these concepts and skills are for higher education. And so the feedback I got from 3 people, I'm just going to scroll through here. Feedback was that they are highly conceptual, that we probably shouldn't give these directly to our students. Also that the framework, is highly conceptual, revolves around knowledge and disposition, which this person doesn't think aligns better with 102 and not 101. And then I also had, actually only got 3 people. So to say that moving towards using this framework seems like a good idea. Okay, so I just say all that to remind us that I'm going to scroll through these concepts here, the concepts themselves, and then the subsequent, how the organization has referred to what learners will be able to do. On the ACRL's website, they reiterate that how this looks at the institution of higher learning must be interpreted by the people at that institution. And so EN 101 is an appropriate place to start thinking about which of the learning abilities under the authority is constructed and conceptual, which of these actual abilities do we think, if any, fit within the curriculum that's introduced in 101 and then built upon in 102. So what I asked people to do to give feedback on is to highlight what they thought might be in 101 and then in green what might be in 102. So I had one person to give me feedback on this, and I'm going to combine that with what Nora and I have done, and I think the librarian, Lori, has looked at this too, and then I'll put these colors together and say, hey, this is what we have. All right, so that's basically the idea for the overall concepts, and I don't have much to report on that besides what I already said. And then this document I have up here, I have one person give feedback about how they saw the individual skills and abilities fitting in with our existing information lit curriculum that's in 102 and in 101. And I am more focused on 101 because that's what I've been working on for the last year and a half, 2 years. And so what I've done here is taken the original matrix from the report that you have access to. And in that original matrix, 3 people had looked at these specific skills underneath each of the concepts and said which of those individual numbered skills that we thought fit in this group. And then I had one person give feedback on this matrix. And from that, what I have done is highlighted in yellow anywhere that there is preliminary agreement. But you're looking at this grid here. This is a total of 4 people in our department having given feedback. Well, and I shouldn't say our department, but yeah, the department. That includes adjunct, but this was sent specifically to EN 101 and 102, not to everyone. So for EN 101 and 102, which is about 45, 46 people, we got 3 responses, and that includes Nora, myself, and then one other full-time faculty member on this grid. And then also Lori, our librarian. So that's 4 perspectives. And from that, I have highlighted things that overlap. So why this is important is because we are using this content to look at the current modules that we have for EN 101. And Nora and I have been revising these modules based on the work that was done in the previous year, 2019 to 2020, that Kelly Roblin and I had worked on, and Nora now is continuing working with me, and we're revising those modules. I think it was the spring of 2019, probably the winter semester. So it's been a minute that we gathered some feedback on the existing modules, and we were using that to revamp them. And at that point, most of that revamping was cosmetic, updating things, but we also wanted to get another look at how do we actually, assess what students are learning and making sure it's in line with our curriculum and new territory here, our goals for information literacy skills. And so through this work, I've been talking with the librarian, and I can't recall exactly how I came across the ACRL, and I think website, but it was just a really great opportunity. I'm just going to click on if it allows me. I just want to get, because I cannot ever remember what ACRL stands for. So yes, so the Association of College and Research Libraries. So that's where this framework is from. And for those of you who may seem like, oh, this is just very highly conceptual, and how do we translate this? The charge is to figure that out. And on the website here, they actually do have like a database, an appendix of resources showing you how other colleges have adapted or are attempting to adapt the concepts to their courses. And that's the courses across the curriculum, and not just writing. So I want to pinpoint that these are for higher ed and not just for writing. So it's expected that we would adapt it within the institution appropriately for program area to classroom or curriculum. All right, so I just wanted to clarify, get the name, Association of College and Research Libraries. All right, so back to our grid here. So how we've used this grid so far is we want to give students the opportunity to complete the modules, but we also want a way to assess what it is they're learning outside of what we're having them do for an assignment in class. Like, are they learning these concepts, or are they gaining these skills? And to do that, I have worked with institutional research, as Nora and I have worked to revamp the modules. So what I'm bringing up now is the module number 4 that Nora has worked very hard to update, and we've incorporated some of these concepts and skills into it. I'm going to figure out, you're going to get access to these updated modules too. So I just want to point out everything that I'm telling you right now. These are ideas. This is in motion. Nothing has been agreed upon. That is for a full conversation in the department, or in those who teach 101 and 102, however we decide to do that. So this is presenting the work that has been done, not asking anyone to make any sort of decisions that things are done, because Nora and I are still in the process of updating modules. And we've decided to update modules 4, 5, 6, and 7. And you'd have to talk to us more to talk about like why we focus on those modules before 1, 2, 3, and 8. Okay, so this is an example of the updated draft of module 4. And we are still having some conversations about what should appear for the student version. Should they have objectives? Should we mention the concepts? Because people probably should not be afraid to list these concepts, but the concepts are driven by the actual skills that students are learning per objective. So what Nora and I have also decided to do is, in updating the module, so this is the, the CRAP module, in addition to making sure that it is a document that students can directly type in and save, we've updated the links for the modules that they are going to look at. Another thing that we decided to do is that the sources that are used throughout all of the modules will be the same, so that students can, if they do something with a source in module 3, that they don't have to switch to a whole new source for subsequent modules. And we've also decided that the topic that will run through these modules, as they're kind of directed towards doing research, learning information literacy skills, it's going to allow you to incorporate research into your writing. So we need a topic, and we decided that topic should be information literacy. So when you see versions of these documents, you will see that we're using as current and diverse sources as we could work with the librarian to talk about information literacy. So there's a little metacognition going on in there. We're sneaking in, talking about information literacy with the modules that's helping them learn skills to be more literate with their handling of information. Okay, so the other thing that we're doing is hoping to take the worksheet, which would still appear on the library's, module information lit toolkit. The worksheet would still be there, but we had this idea that we should try and create a way for students and faculty to use this content in Blackboard. So my part of the task is creating a Blackboard test. So the worksheet will be questions and activities that students can do on Blackboard in your course. So we're working on that right now. I was hoping to have the feedback from that matrix so that I can, and I think we're only, Nora is still working on updating module 5 so that I can then try to translate that into something that you can do online. So right now, our goal is to finish module 4. So I'm gonna take that worksheet and I'm trying to rework it so it's something that you can look at on Blackboard. And the great part about if this works and we like it, you can download the tests, upload them into your Blackboard, and we're calling them tests, so that students can complete the work in your course and not have to necessarily go out to the library. The idea I thought with the library positioning of that is that that's information that any student at the college could use, but also specifically for 101, but if we house it in our courses, it gives us a little more structure of, one, we're all using the same content still, but we could also survey our students. So this is where my last part here, this is where that matrix really comes in, because we're working with IR to develop surveys. The surveys that we are using are looking at those specific skills from that grid. You have to give me a second because I have so many pages open. And I have 3 monitors here. So this is a draft of the survey that Erica Bullock and IR created based on the specific skills from ACRL concepts that the Nora, I, and Lori thought that Module 4 introduced to students. And Erica has done a wonderful job because she looks at the whole module. She looked at the content in the matrix, and then she double checked. She was like, hey, I don't know if this particular concept that was highlighted actually is in the module. So, and we've made an agreement. That's great because she's coming from the outside and she's looking at the module and the content and what we have on that matrix, and she doesn't see it. It's most likely not there. So what she did for Module 4 is she just listed the ones that she didn't directly see that Module 4 connected with, and didn't make a survey question for it. That's great. That's like another safety measure or another set of eyes. But this is also why getting feedback on the matrix, on the ACR skills will be helpful. Because what I'm going to do moving forward with just the data that I have right now is to send that for Module 5, right, to Erica, and when she helps to make the next survey. But here's the other cool part with putting this into Blackboard. So here is my draft right now. I'm putting together this the Blackboard test version where students can complete the worksheet, but we also will be able to give the students a survey. So this is the survey for Module 4 that Erica has drafted for us. So once we get this package ready, the end goal is to get your feedback on what that draft, I'm just gonna pull these in front for a second. So this is my wrap up. So we're gonna ask for your feedback on the updated Module 4 worksheet and its content. And then also ask for your feedback on that same content in this test version that students can do within your course. So you'll have this, again, all of this is a draft, the test version of the worksheet, and then you'll also be able to see the survey based on the module, and also based on the collected data, let's see, from basically that matrix. So this is the blank version. So that's what we're doing, and that's my feedback. So I think I will probably put out another request for discussion after we give you access to the test version of Module 4. In the meantime, If you want to talk to me or Nora about it, we'll let people know when we're meeting. And right now, I think the committee remains Nora, myself, and the librarian. So you're still welcome to join.